All right, in chapter 6, we spent a lot of time writing systems of equations where we'd have word problems, we'd have to define two variables, then write two equations. This video is going to be doing the exact same thing. However, we're not going to be writing equations, we're going to be writing inequalities, which only means we're not going to have an equal sign, we're going to have an inequality symbol. So the tricky inequality symbols, the words at least, at most, no more than, no less than, those are the tricky ones. So let's remember, as we're going through this, when we see at least, that is a greater than or equal to. At most is a less than or equal to. No more than would be greater. So no would be less than, but it has to be the exact opposite. So that actually has to be less than or equal to, and no less than would be left. No less than is right, but it's an or equal to as well. Keeping those in mind, we're going to substitute these symbols in for our equal sign and our inequalities. The other words that we could use are the more straightforward ones where they might just say have to be greater than, have to be less than, is greater than or equal to, is less than or equal to. Those are the straightforward ones that we don't have to write down. So looking at our first example, it says that we can work at most 20 hours next week. There's a key word, at most 20 hours. At most is a less than or equal to. I'm going to have an inequality. Instead of equals 20, it's going to be less than or equal to 20. Then it says you need to earn at least $92. At least is a greater than or equal to. That's going to be greater than or equal to $92. Now that one is my money inequality. This is my inequality that deals with hours. So as I read the rest of this to come up with my variables and write the rest of my inequalities, it's going to be just like our equations. So to cover your weekly expenses, so then your dog walking job pays $7.50 per hour. There's a keyword, per hour. We're going to be multiplying that. And that one is dog walking. Your other job is as a car wash attendant, and it's $6 per hour. So the two things that we're doing here is dog walking and car washing. Those are your variables, so we define those. Whatever variable we want to use. X is, and we're dealing with per hour, so it's a number of hours. Dog walking. And then Y is my other job, car wash attendant, and that's a per hour as well. That's a number of hours. Car washing. These are hours. 20, the less than or equal to 20 is hours. So that's the inequality where I will add my variables. Number of hours I dog walk plus the number of hours I car wash is less than or equal to 20. The second one is my multiplication one. Dog walking is $7.50. Dog walking is X. So it's $7.50 times X plus car wash is $6. $6 times Y. Okay, now I don't need the dollar sign in the hours there. This is what I need in order to get full credit. Number 2 is slightly different. I'm going to walk through this one with you guys as well. Marsha's buying plants and soil for her garden. The soil is $4 per bag. So I know soil is $4 per bag. Plants cost $10 each. There's the per and the each. Those are my multiplication indicators. She wants to buy, here's our at least 5 plants. At least is greater than or equal to, and can spend no more than $100. No more than is less than or equal to 100. Well, that's my money equation. So the two things that I'm dealing with here is soil and plants. So I might use S is amount of soil, and P is the number of plants. Don't get caught in the habit of saying, well, those are my money ones, it'll go with my money, which is true. $4 times the amount of soil plus $10 times the number of plants is less than or equal to 100. That's true. But don't get in the bad habit of just saying, okay, then this must be S plus P equals 5. Because the 5 is representing here just plants. She needs to buy at least 5 plants. It has nothing to do with the soil. So here, it is just one variable. P is greater than or equal to 5. That represents 5 or more plants. Okay. All right, what I want you guys to do next is press pause, do number 3, check your answer, then press pause and do number 4, check your answer. So for number 3, pay attention to the variables here, because the variables aren't the number of books, number of small or large books, they're the number of small book boxes, because we have at least 35 boxes greater than or equal to 35, at least 350 books greater than or equal to 350, but we're putting 15 books in a box or 8 books in a box depending on the size. So when we define these variables, saying boxes is important. If you haven't done number 4 yet, pause, try it, unpause to check your work. So in this case, we have the number of small candles and large candles. We know that we are buying at least 20. That's greater than or equal to 20 when I add them. And I cannot spend more than $80. That's the same. So cannot is no more than, which is less than or equal to.